Hello, everyone. So it is 2 minutes after. We're doing good. We're still here. My name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the business plug. And this evening, I invite you to tune in. Go ahead and share it on your page. Tell your friends, tell your family. We're going to be talking about maximizing your potential with Dr. LaVerne. So we're going to be talking about all the great things. But before we get to that, I want to tell you about two things. I want to tell you about Tuesday if you have interest in learning how to apply for grants and where grant funding can be found. I am actually hosting a Zoom meeting on Tuesday. You can go to the LSMB business page, which some of you are there now watching this, and you can actually get your tickets there. If you're on LinkedIn, I have a link on my page. So follow my page and you'll see the link in order to get your ticket. It's going to take you over to Eventbrite, which is where I'm hosting the ticket sales. So go ahead and do that over there. Second to that, right now I'm running a special on business plans. And so if you're interested in getting a business plan for your business, because it's funding season, this is like the first quarter for people, a second quarter. We're in second quarter now, getting ready to get that funding. It's a lot of money headed down the pike, and you want to make sure that your for-profit business is in position to get that funding. So we're going to talk about on Tuesday night, how do you get ready to be grant funded? How do you get to be fundable, period? And so that's Tuesday at 6 o'clock p.m. I'm doing a Zoom meeting where I'm going to walk you through where the grants are and how do you apply for them. So with all of that business being done, and I'll put links, I will come back and put links on this description later. So that way you can get your tickets to any of that. Or if you're interested in being on the show, go ahead and click the link that's already there that says go ahead and choose the Sunday that you want to come on. The Business Plug Mixer comes on every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And so you're welcome to join me there. If you are ready, Dr. LaVerne, hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
So
I am
tell
ready.
us about Dr. LaVerne.
What do you want to know? I spent a lifetime of serving others as an executive director, a community leader, as a pastor, as a professor. I have just done all the work that I can to help people improve the quality of their lives.
I love that.
And now I'm an executive coach, and I help executives to develop their personal and professional potential in Fortune 100 companies, and I love my work.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And so you're doing professional development. So what does that look like? What does the ideal customer that come to you for help? What does that look like?
Well, I would call them a client, and they're coming to get their issues resolved. And
Okay.
in my particular space, because I'm an executive coach, most times it's issues around the workplace
Yeah.
and their leadership and
Okay.
how they could level up their leadership skills.
Oh, wonderful,
Hmm.
wonderful. Because what I find is a lot of people, and especially in entrepreneurship, right, which is my wheelhouse, but a lot of people who are starting businesses have never been in a leadership position in
That's a
their
very good point.
in their careers. And
Hmm.
so they could really use your help
Hmm.
in learning because it's a whole different mindset, right?
It's a whole different ball game.
Absolutely. Because when you're thinking about how I'm going to hire people, how I have to fire people when there's a mismatch, or how I'm going to think futuristically about growing my business or adding products or service or all of that, all those business decisions that entrepreneurs have to make. If you've not made those type of decisions, then it could be a struggle for you.
Most definitely. And that's where that personal and professional development comes in,
Uh-huh.
where the most important thing is that the person recognizes that they
Yeah.
have that need, and
Yeah.
they don't have to struggle through that. They can get support. For example, I work with a VP of a company, and she basically said to me, I don't know why I can't figure this out.
Uh-huh.
But the
Uh-huh.
good news is she didn't have to do it by herself. So we just pretty much did a role play. We did some exercises that help her to prepare to actually fire somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
But you don't have to do it alone. And I just want to dispel that myth. You don't have to have it all figured out, and you don't have to do it
Absolutely.
alone.
Absolutely.
That's
But you
key.
can definitely get in trouble if you do it the wrong way.
Whoa, for real, for real.
Yeah, because that can bounce back and bite you if you don't handle, especially terminations. And we think about that, like when you think about a small business terminating somebody, we say, well, I just fire them,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't know that there is the Department of Labor that
Mm-hmm.
has set guidelines about hiring and firing people. Like there are questions you can't ask
Mm-hmm.
in the hiring process. And if we don't know that, we're asking them, okay, so do you have kids? So how many kids do you have? So
Oh,
how
come on
old
now.
are you? Like those are questions. Those
There can
questions can
be
get
a
you in
lot of
trouble.
repercussions for that. You're absolutely right.
Absolutely. Talking about fines and penalties and coming to speak in front of a hearing judge and everything. Like, and people don't think about that though when you're opening a business. You just think I just hire and fire like when I'm done,
Or
I'm done.
that I'm in charge.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
I get to do what I want now.
Yeah. And
And that's
no.
not leadership.
No, exactly. And
Mm-hmm.
so if you are in the space of leadership, if you are an executive director, if you have your own business or you're thinking about having your own business and it's going to require you to hire people, then you really need a coach. You need somebody who can help you with those executive leadership skills because otherwise you're setting yourself up for disaster.
Most
Like on a
definitely.
lot of rims, right?
Most definitely. And it just brings me so much joy to be able to support leaders in that way and to say, hey, look, you're not alone. You need to get the thoughts out of your head. You need to develop a achievable plan. You need to have a plan of action, a POA. You need to have SWOTs. You need to do all of those things in order to be successful. Because you can't, one season doesn't always, the things you did in one season doesn't always work in another.
They do not. They
An
do not.
employee looks totally different than being a boss.
Absolutely. When and that's the thing is a lot of entrepreneurs who are just starting out and the ones I've seen, and I'm just speaking for myself, they haven't had college. Like a great deal of them have not been to college. All they've had is high school.
Mhm.
If they've had high school, if
Mhm.
they finished high school. And in high school, you have the teacher telling you when the assignments are due. You have the teacher telling you when you need to go
Ah,
to bed. You have the teacher telling you how to prepare for the test. You have the teacher telling you a lot of things, right? So the teacher is pretty much your coach. It's pretty much your coach when you're in high school. But then when you open a business, um, you're the teacher. you you
you
have to
make
be
the
self-directed.
decisions, and they better
Absolutely.
be good ones.
You prayerfully, they are good ones because your decisions can either go left or go right. They can go right or they can go wrong.
Absolutely. And your decisions, especially when you're in your own business, impacts so many different people on so many different levels.
Absolutely.
Whether it's your client, your customer, or your employee, you need to make sure that everything you do takes all of those things into consideration.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. So understanding, I don't care, whether you get it here, where you get it, wherever. Hopefully you'll reach out because I have her contact information in the chat. But if you're an executive leader or you have the aspirations of wanting to be an executive leader and you want to know how to do it right, like
Mm.
you can do it wrong, but you want to know how to do it right, then you want to know somebody who can help walk you through those things that you don't really understand right now. Because it's a very different thing. It's a very different mindset. That's the number one thing I think a lot of entrepreneurs miss out on is that switch.
Mm.
Because it is definitely a switch.
And I think the most important thing that you said was that there's a switch, but also knowing when to recognize it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it starts with the idea of wanting
Yeah.
to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to have
Absolutely.
to shift
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
present myself differently.
Absolutely.
Your employees are not going to be not your friends or buddies because you're not
Right.
getting a whole lot out of them. But if you present leadership qualities and skills, they won't mind following you.
Absolutely. And what I find is like a lot of times we hire employees and we want them to have the same level of passion that we have for our businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not so.
It's not going to happen. And the reason it's not going to happen is because how we come into the agreement. And this is what I'm advising my clients to keep in mind. If you are just looking to have a boss employee relationship, it's just not going to produce what you anticipate. And the reason is because we have what we call now the great resignation.
Absolutely.
People are just sick of work. They're sick of bosses. They don't want to do anything anymore. That will drain them. But the shift comes now with partnership.
Partnerships. How can you get your team to be invested in the success of you and your business, right?
Absolutely.
Because that's what it is. It's an investment. And whether that investment is monetary is not even the point. It is
Exactly.
invested in your business, either in how they're working or how they're contributing to the growth of the business as a whole, right? So that can be skill sets, that can be monetary, that can be shares, that can be anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a part of making them a partner.
Exactly. And the other piece that's even more important than money or shares, psychologically, is recognition.
Absolutely.
If you are not a big enough person to recognize others, you're wasting your time.
I know.
You have to be able to recognize the value and the gifts and the skills of others, and most importantly, bring people around you that are smarter than you. You don't need to be intimidated by them. But
Yes.
being able to recognize the skills that people bring to the table is worth more than money.
It is. It is.
Mhm.
And it goes further than money, right?
And it goes further than money.
Because with money, once you spend it, it's gone.
Yep.
And so with accolades, like you get to hang the poster, like behind your head there, right? I mean, those are achievements, and people want people to know that they are successful people. And so sometimes even just having a little certificate to say you appreciate it.
There it is. There
you know, it means a lot to people, and we always want to put, because again, that's that employee mindset. We always want to put dollars and cents on relationships, and it's not dollars and cents. It's actually accolades. How can you make me feel valued?
There it is.
And when we seek to do that in any relationship, it makes it better, right?
And I like the way you said that. Seek to make people feel valued. If you use that as a premise to your business strategy and model, especially when it comes to employees and hiring people, seek to find their best strengths, seek to find their value and worth. They will be loyal to you forever.
Forever. And that's the thing.
But if you're always looking to find out what's wrong or what they didn't do right,
yeah,
they'll leave in a heartbeat. They don't have time for it.
Yeah. I saw a post on LinkedIn once, and it says people don't leave bad companies, they leave bad bosses.
That's it. That's it.
And so if you are an entrepreneur, you're the boss. And you don't want to be a bad boss. You don't want to be a bad boss out here. Like, you want to build, in order to build a business, you must have people skills. You must have interaction skills. Like, you must understand the value of each and every customer, each and every team player, each and every person, supplier, vendor, whatever. Like, each one of them has their own value, and you must be able to recognize that. And so sometimes, again, when you're an employee, you know all your coworkers, and you all are cool because you've built up this relationship between you and your coworkers. But when you become the boss, that's a different level. Like, look at how you looked at your boss when you were an employee, because you just became that person to an employee. So, sometimes we forget when we've worked on jobs how once we become owners, how that's us, that person that people talk about in the closet.
Yes.
That boss. that becomes us. And so
Now,
learning,
it's interesting how that becomes a psychological construct. It's very interesting
yes,
how it just it takes shape because, but you can do a lot of things to alter that because there's that hierarchy that's created in the boss and employee. But when you create this partnership model, it eliminates that.
I love it.
And then it keeps people from hating you because you're the boss to
Yeah,
wanting to do more for you because you're
absolutely.
the leader.
Absolutely. And I love that, the leader, right? Because, it's sometimes in our heads we think I'm a leader, but a leader has followers.
Yes. And qualities. Qualities. A leader
And
has
qualities, right,
leadership
right. And it's
skills.
but it's those qualities that creates followers,
Hmm.
because it's easy for us to be self-diagnosed and to think I'm a leader.
Yes.
But if you have no one following you, no, you're just out there
Yeah. Now,
alone.
now that speaks to what the thing that comes to mind for me, and that is understanding the need to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
All of these things we're talking about, they don't just happen. You have to work at them and you need help
And
to
it's
get there.
realizing it. It's realizing that's the thing, is a lot of us feel like I got this.
Yeah.
And in truth, leaders need coaches just like everyone else. You
Or
know,
more.
more. One of the freeing things for me was learning that Oprah had 6 coaches. I was like, what?
It's
If Oprah
remarkable.
had 6, I need at least 6. I probably need 12.
In every area of your life. So it depends on what you want to work on
Yeah,
specifically. For example, we're talking about business and business coaching and entrepreneurship and leadership. There's so many resources out there
yeah,
that before you start a business plan, get into the business of you
absolutely.
because the business is you.
It is you.
It represents you and
It
everything
does.
you are. So, really taking a deep dive in yourself and saying, okay, what are the things that I need to develop in myself in order to be a great entrepreneur, a great leader, a great boss, or a hirer of persons? What do I need to do? And that knowledge actually comes from outside of you.
It does. It does. That 360 review,
Mm-hmm.
where you ask the people outside of you to make sure that your perception is on point. Because we can get caught up, right? We can get caught up and think, I am Superwoman and nobody can stand me.
This is true. Now, I'm a 360 assessment administrator, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And that's a professional instrument that we use in corporate and government, things like that. But there's another way to do it without all of the bells and the whistles. And I've done it before I became an administrator. And this is very simple exercise. And some people do this in public. They put it on social media, and they'll say, um, you could say, could you tell me your first impression of me?
Mm,
What do you think I need? What do you think are my strengths? And what areas do you think I should improve?
mm,
Or what we call it in the coaching industry, stretches. Where do you,
right.
or in the corporate world, develop. So they're different depending on who you're putting that out to.
Hmm.
I and just those 3 questions can help you get a better view about how you're perceived
Yeah.
and areas of development and improvement.
Because sometimes we have blind spots.
Here it is. That's Jahari's window. There's things I know and that you don't know. There's things that
Exactly.
you know that I don't know. And there's things that we both know, but there's things nobody knows.
Yeah.
Those are those 4 panes of the Jahari's window. So when you recognize there are things I just don't know, I don't know it all. I need the support of others and the voice of others and the view and perceptions of others to help me see myself as a complete human being.
Absolutely. Because none of us is as smart as all of us.
No.
Right. And so the more people you can get in the mix to understand, like, because that's one thing that I think I always want to have my finger on the pulse of is how am I being perceived? Because sometimes I think I give out vibes that are not truly mine. I mean, and maybe it's something I said or did that gave someone a misconception of who I am.
Yeah, and I think in totality, it is who you are. It just may not be the way you want
Yeah,
to be.
yeah, absolutely.
It just is, and that's why we call it self-improvement.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Because there
Moving
are things
thyself.
we all have to do to work on ourselves.
Oh yeah, oh
We
yeah. I
all
mean,
have areas of
understanding that none of us are perfect, right?
nobody.
We all what is it? Spiritual beings having a human experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you understand that, then you understand that I'm not perfect. I do have flaws, but I'm willing to observe my flaws and fix the ones that are fixable.
Exactly. We all have our work to do.
Absolutely.
We all have our work to do. And going back to this whole business idea, the first business is self. What do I need to do with myself? Where do I need to make investments in myself? Because the more invested you are in yourself, the more profitable your business will be.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, they're purchasing you.
At the end
and
of
not the product and not the service. Because the products and the service that you can get anywhere. There's nobody out here making things that nobody else is making, right? Even if it's an invention, it won't be long before somebody else is doing it.
Absolutely.
So they are purchasing you as opposed to purchasing that service, that product.
Absolutely. And you are the brand.
You are the brand.
What
My friend has a statement, you brand you.
Wow.
And so, that's what it is. We each get to brand ourselves. And a lot of times we think we have to brand the business, right?
Absolutely.
But you get to brand you. You get to
brand new, not you. Now, here's the interesting thing about branding. Hey, sister, you get to brand you in the way it's important that you start the dialogue. This is how I want you to understand who I am.
Yeah.
You get to start it, but the client finishes it.
Absolutely.
And if those are not incongruent, then you need to go back to the drawing board.
Right. And that's the thing. If those are incongruent, then what happens is you get to brand you as far as how you want to be seen. But it is the feedback.
There it is.
That tells you whether what you think and you're putting out is what's being received.
If it's accurate.
Yeah.
Now, here's an example. For example, I'm a executive coach. I haven't always been an executive coach. I was started out as a general life coach, and I became a master coach, and then I moved up to an executive coach for one reason and one reason only. I already was an executive. I already had an executive role. It wasn't that because I just wanted to be. And sometimes people see that and say, "Oh, I want to be that too." Well, you can't be that if you don't have that.
Oh! Wait a minute! No, that part right there. Wait a minute! Put a pin in there. Let's stop right there. Let's stop right there, because I am always saying, and I always see it right on social media where I've started a business. Now I'm a business coach.
Oh no! No, that's the point I'm making exactly. The incongruency is there. So for example, when I work with my clients, they come to me saying, "You are the expert."
Exactly.
Because they know the brand.
Exactly. But that's the difference, right?
That's
because
the difference.
if you just started a business and now you're a business coach, the only business you know how to start is yours. The only strategy you know is the one you used.
Maybe.
But there are a plethora of strategies out there, and they're not all one size fits all.
No, it's not. And not only that, you haven't even figured it out yet because you just got started. So how are you now going to tell people what to do and you don't even know yet? So it's making us become more shrewd in our approach and how we select people.
Yeah.
To service us and help us, because you got to have now credentials and certification and training. Exactly. Because other than that, you're throwing good money after bad, because
Yeah.
people are just testing out and they're trying things out on you, and you don't want to waste time with that.
Our
So
money.
no, you don't. Not
I
money.
I have people coming to me. They say, "Well, I paid $5,000 for this, but can you help me figure it out?" And here's the thing: a lot of times, I can have them to go back over what they've already paid for, because what I find is a lot of these people who say they're business coaches
Hmm.
are only telling you how, are only telling you what you need, right?
Wow.
So they say you need a Facebook page, or you need a web page, or you need to put this automation in, or you need to do. They tell you all these things that you need in order to have a functional business, but they never tell you how. Because why? How is the upsell?
Wow.
So they get your $5,000 with, "Hey, this is a plan. Be a soup maker tomorrow. I can show you how to make a soup in 30 days. You'll have a soup business and you'll be making six figures." And it's a smoke screen. A smoke screen.
Mm,
It's not what you think it is. And then you pay $5,000, and then you're stuck like Chuck because you have no idea what to do with what you just purchased.
exactly. And that's like the latest craze. Like everybody's a coach and everybody can tell you what to do and you can make $1 million overnight. And people are buying into that. And I'm like, wait, everybody listen to what they're saying, because they're not giving you the whole kit and caboodle. But it's, people buy, we know this now, people are buying on emotion.
It's all emotional.
And they want something so bad that they're willing to pay for it, but they're not reading the fine print.
Absolutely. And because the fine print is, yes, I can tell you what to do, and I'm gonna sell you this packet, and I won't see you again. I won't even answer your calls. My goddaughter was talking about this lady where people have been ordering products and all from her from a month ago. And she's like, "I spent your shipping money, so I don't have the money to ship it to you." And she actually, those are her words. Like, and this lady has thousands of followers. And that's what people are purchasing.
Wow.
And you think,
How long is that going to last, though?
I would think the Federal Trade Commission would come down and say, "Hey, lady, because you're taking people, you're using e-commerce to conduct business, and you're not fulfilling what you said." I mean, there
Sure.
are actually laws out there from the
Right.
Federal Trade
She's
Commission.
taking such an incredible risk, because all somebody has to do is put her out on a Better Business Bureau. And she's tanked. Again, you are your brand. You are your brand. So if you are unethical, you have an unethical brand, and it will talk back to you.
And that's what I never want to be guilty of. I never want to be guilty of taking somebody's money and not producing the product. I mean, I'll work with you. I've done rewrites on rewrites on rewrites. It makes no difference. If it's not right, we'll keep writing until we get it right.
And that is the product that you're selling. You're selling excellence.
Absolutely.
You're selling completion. You're selling, satisfaction.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, that becomes part of your brand.
And that's the part that's missing.
Yeah.
More times than not. That's the part that's missing.
But that's what makes you stand out over others when you provide it.
And see, and that's the thing. So, people are like, "Well, your prices are too high." And I hear that, right? Your prices are too high. And the thing about it is, I'm not for everybody.
Right.
But I know the amount of value I give, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the people who have been my customers can tell you they've never reached out to me and I didn't reach back. They've never needed me and I didn't come running. And most times after you've bought one product or service, I'm your coach for life. I tell them, "Look, I'm your coach. I'm going to help you get through this." And I have had business owners just to call and say, "I don't need anything. I just need to vent."
Wow.
And listen to them and help them figure it out.
That's awesome.
But that's because they're my client. Yeah. And we have that relationship already.
And you built the rapport, you built the relationship. You're known as that people can come to and get what they need.
Absolutely.
And that is your brand. And that's what we need to provide people with, so they can feel confident and they would come to us to get what they need, and then they will tell others.
And that's how I get more business for word of mouth.
Nice.
I get tagged all over I get tagged all over Facebook, and this is what's funny, or even in LinkedIn. And here's what's funny is a lot of times, if the person is not my ideal client, I won't respond. I used to respond to all of them. But then there's no need for me to waste either of our time.
Totally,
because if you use words like cheap, affordable,
wow,
there are keywords that people use that I'm not. I saw a TikTok the other day. I said, "Oh, that's so mean." It said, "I'm not the best offer out there. I don't have the best prices. I don't." And
don't ask me. I saw that. Don't ask me for a discount. Don't ask me. And we need to move toward that, because that's how you're going to get the excellence. That's how you're going to get the best possible product. That's how you're going to provide the best possible service. If you pay me what I'm worth.
If you pay me what I'm worth, I can assure you you're going to get what you paid for.
Yeah.
And some.
And when you know your worth, that's when you can provide education to people and get your best and give your best value.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have clients that come and I say, this is the price and this is what we're doing. And then in addition to what I said I'm going to do for them, then I'm sending them emails, read this, do this, go here. And they'll be like, Miss Linda, oh, I didn't know this was included. Thank you.
Nice. Oh, and that's under promising and over delivering there. That's right there.
Exactly. Because if we have a conversation, it's going to stick in my head until I find you resolution, whether it's what we're working on or not. I need to help you find resolution.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And so that's the whole thing with your executive coaching business. People think, well, I have to be an executive to get that coaching. And that's simply not what it is. That is preparing to be an executive so that you can have executive level skills, making executive level decisions.
Exactly.
And Rachel Rogers called them $1 million decisions. So that you can make $1 million decisions.
I love it. I love it. And I love my work. I enjoy supporting people, being a confidant, somebody that they can, a sounding board that they can share things with, and then helping guide them toward their solution. I love my work, and I really appreciate you bringing me on to talk about it.
But people need that. Like my biggest fear is that when you talked about the Great Resignation, knowing what we know about the numbers before the Great Resignation, we knew that businesses would close 20% in a year, 50% in 3 years, up to 90% in 5 years, depending on what industry you're in. Knowing that businesses close like that, knowing that people are checking out their 401ks and they're pulling all this money out to start these businesses for themselves, and knowing that the numbers, the risk was already out there before the pandemic, the success factor, like I'm so afraid that people are going to do the Great Resignation in 2022 and do the please hire me back in 2023. And so I know they need executive coaching. I know they need your services. And I want to always use the Business Plugs Mixer as a way of introducing people to ideas they may or may not have thought about. Like it's not coincidental that I have you on. It's needed. People need your services.
Yeah. And then to raise the awareness of what's available and what's out there. And most times people don't even know what it is and why they need it. So yeah, wow, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because the thing about it is you don't know what you need. Like you don't know what you don't know. And that's the one thing I hear people talk about. So in May, I have a whole 12-week class starting that teaches the fundaments of the foundation. I can get it right in a minute. The foundation of starting a business, right? Using the Kaufman Foundation's Fast Track program. And people who've taken that class in the past have said, you're answering questions I didn't know I had.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Because they don't know. Like
Right.
people don't know. It looks easy. The good ones make it look easy to
Mm-hmm.
start a business. The good ones make it look easy to be in management. The
Mm.
good ones make it look really easy to be a leader. But
Yes, yes. Now that's a very good point. I've done some things and people saw me do it and they said, "Oh, that's easy." And then they went out and tried it.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And that's the thing. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. That must be Sheena. Sheena, I can't see your name if that's you. But the thing about it is people don't know. They don't know. And so if this is why you're here, is because you're an executive leader and we have people who are the great resignation have placed themselves in executive positions
Mm.
and they're going to need some help.
Yeah.
And so I'm all about providing resources and resolutions to people's problems, even if they don't know it's a problem yet.
Absolutely. And it's, you know, the analogy came to mind when you said that. And that's when you go to these big box stores like Walmart. And oh, it's Dr. Sonia. How you doing,
Hey,
darling?
Dr. Sonia, that's our sister.
Yes, yes. And you go to Walmart and you went in there for eggs, but you come out with a whole cart full of food or items, I should say. You
Yeah,
didn't come in there for that, but they presented it to you and you remembered that you needed it.
absolutely. How many times have I went to the store for like bread, eggs, and milk and come
Yes.
out with $145? How many times? It got so bad at one time I just started ordering my groceries online. I said I will not be a party to that. I will not be a party to that.
Yeah. But the philosophy is to present something in a way to help people understand what they need. So it's a grocery store technique and help them understand that this is available.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
most definitely understand what it is.
Absolutely. Oh, you took the Kaufman class. So you already know, Dr. Freeman, you already know, Dr. Sonia, exactly what we're talking about. Like when people first take that class, those 5 modules that we go through, a lot of people who, if unless you've been, even if you've been in a business class, because I have people that have business degrees to take that class and say, this is not what I learned in business
Oh,
school.
that's awesome.
Yeah. And so even though they've taken business classes, but that is an evidence-based class that's sponsored, that's created by the Kaufman Foundation, which is one of the lead philanthropists for entrepreneurship in the world.
Oh, beautiful.
And it's all evidence-based. And it has been a God save for a lot of people who wanted to start business. So I'm doing it the week of May 10th, I think is the first day of that class. But be looking out for that if you're in the market for understanding business, then it's going to be, we're doing open registration as we speak. But yeah, but that's the thing is you don't know when you're starting out a business that you need executive coaching. You don't know because you've never went down that path before.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you are in leadership in your corporate job or your blue collar job or whatever job you have, if you are the supervisor or the team leader, you're going to understand that you really need to have some executive coaching. You really do. And that's the thing, is getting to know that you need help. Like you need help. And here's help for you. Clicking on the
Exactly.
link, contact her, email her, ask her questions, like whatever it is that you think you need, then reach out. Don't let ego. I call it honest arrogance, right? Honest arrogance is, I'm going to make this business the way I see it in my head, and it's going to be this way. And I don't want to learn about your strategies and your principles, and I don't care what was best practice. I'm going to do it my way, like Elvis. I did
Wow.
it my way.
Wow. You know, that would you're going to waste a lot of time. So what I love about what I do is that I help people to get what they need to get done faster than if they tried to do it themselves. Secondly, Time is money.
Yes.
So when you start talking about I'm wasting time when I could actually shave off hundreds of hours in getting something done in a way that I'm not aware of, that somebody can help me. And I will say this, free will only get you but so far.
Exact. And that part right there, that free part, Hey, Margot, that free part, right? Because people expect to become millionaires using free products,
Here's
free
the thing.
service,
You
free
reap,
advice.
you reap what you sow. And if you've sowed zero, you're ultimately going to get zero. Zero times any number is zero.
You're right. You're
So
absolutely right.
eventually what you need to sustain that, you didn't invest in it. And that's yourself to
And
start.
why would somebody invest in your business if you won't invest in your business?
There you go.
That part right there. Like, how can you ask anybody to invest in your business and you won't invest in your own business?
You won't invest in yourself.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, and this is the thing that gets me, because I was in nonprofit for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Written grants, started nonprofit organizations, the whole 20 years. And I heard people constantly say, I want a grant. I want a grant. I want somebody to give me money. Why would they give you money? What do you have that they would want to sow into?
And I put it back to, would you buy you?
Ooh,
Would you pay money for you?
absolutely. Absolutely. So
If you would,
you got to get yourself to a point that you are a viable product for someone to invest in, versus I have a good idea. You got to sow into that idea first. And most people who are giving away money want to see that.
exactly, because you still have proof of concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
You still have proof of concept. You have to prove, like, nobody, and I tell people this all the time, especially in my grant class. I make sure I tell them nobody's funding somebody else's dreams. Like, you have to have a business plan, you have to have years experience, you have to have something that they can hang their hat on.
Exactly. That
And
they're not going to throw their money away. You know,
nobody's doing that.
nobody's doing that. It's just a pipe dream if you think that's a reality. You're not if you're not investing in yourself, investing in your business, investing in a brand for yourself, you are wasting your time thinking that somebody else is going to come and do that, and you haven't done it for yourself.
Somebody's going to pay for me to fail.
Oh
I'm
wow,
not going to
that's a
risk.
good point.
I'm not committed enough to invest my own money. But I
No,
want you to see me, and because of who I am, invest your money.
right. They want to see that proof of concept. Like, how do I know that it's actually going to succeed on some level?
On some level, on any on
Give
any
me
level.
something to work with, for goodness sakes. That's all I want to know. Give me something to work with. But it's very unfortunate when people don't get that. But I find that, what I shared on another show is that when you are willing to do the work, when
Yeah,
you're willing to invest in yourself, when you're willing to go the extra mile, people see that as something that's attractive, and they want it, and
absolutely.
they want to get involved.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is good conversation, because
It
these
is.
are things that people really don't think about when they're starting a business, right? They don't think about investing in the owner. Like, some of the best money, the best returns on the investment have been me investing in myself.
There it is. There it is.
Like, it started out, when I was being mentored by Steve Harvey and his people, you know, having invested in myself, having spent those 2 years in that school of business acceleration, and being
Mm,
able to talk to people all around the world who were at the same level I was, and who wanted to be better, who wanted to understand business, like who wanted to be what they saw in their head, but they didn't know how to pull it together. But we
Mm-hmm.
all knew, 85 of us at a time, all knew that we needed somebody who had already been there to take us there.
Absolutely. There you go.
So
Why
that's the
try
difference.
to chart it all out yourself when somebody's already been there? They have the map.
Exactly.
It makes no
Exactly.
sense. But that's the closed mind. We need closed mindset. We need to have a growth mindset because that's what's going to help us build and expand our business.
Yeah.
The
And
good,
they talk about that of the growth mindset. So you talk about the closed mindset, and the closed mindset says, how much does it cost?
yeah.
And the growth mindset says, what is the return on this investment?
Mm. And that's exactly it. An investment.
Yeah,
An investment. It's not cost, it's an investment. And investments always should always bring a return.
absolutely.
And it's,
Absolutely.
you get out. The other thing is you get out what you put in. I have lots and lots of programs for people, but if you don't apply yourself to it, it's not going to work.
Absolutely.
It's not going to work. But it's all about how do I invest in myself? How do I become the best version of myself so I
Mm,
could serve people in the best possible way? It's not about you. Business is not about you. It should never be about you. People get into business so they can make money, but at the end of the day, the business is there to serve others.
and that's the whole mindset switch, right? So the first part, so I've taught co-starter, and I'm now teaching fast track, right? And in both of those curriculums, the first night is always learning who you are as a leader and who you are as a prospect in business. So
Mm,
the first night we talk about your learning skills, we talk about your circle, your strengths, your weaknesses, how you think. We talk everything we talk about is about you
mm,
and about whether your idea is valid or not, right? That's the last time we talk about you
mm.
because the other 11 weeks we're talking about the customer. And you're learning just because your favorite color is blue or pink or purple or whatever color, that unless that's the color that attracts your customers, it's not about you, boo.
Exactly.
My house is teal because that's my favorite color. My business has no teal in it
Mm,
because that's not if you look up there, those colors that are there, is a sky blue and an aqua blue, those have nothing to do with teal. Because studies and research shows that these blue colors provoke warmth and feeling and caring and show that I care. It's about my customer. When we
right.
understand that, when we understand that colors have power, even though we have our favorite color, we understand we have to do business in the color of our customers.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And it's an interesting journey because there's so many things to take into consideration that you may never even think about. I'm talking about the client, the
Right?
person
Yeah.
that we're talking to,
Yeah.
that they may never even think about. And this helps to broaden you, expand you, and get you out there to be able to really reach the person that you want to service.
Absolutely. I felt the room shift. I felt somebody say, wait a minute, what? It's not about me?
That is a serious shift.
I felt the room shift. I felt it shift. Somebody was like, what? Wait, what?
It's not about you, boo.
It's not. I know. It's not. It's not because you have to know what it is people are willing to pay for. Like we can sit all day and think, well, I like teal. I like, I'm gonna do teal everything. I'm gonna
Mhm,
teal out.
mhm.
And what if my customers don't particularly care for teal? Like, what if they won't pay me to be me? They're like, Linda, you like that, but that's not my favorite color. Boo boo. I'm not buying it. I'm not paying. You selling it, but I'm not buying it.
Yeah, and from a even from a business perspective, it's all about the psyche of the client
Yes.
and what is it that they need
Yes.
in order to take action from you,
Yes.
rather than I'm imposing my will on people. It doesn't work. You're going to buy my hotcakes. I don't like hotcakes. And I'm going to put sugar on them. I don't eat sugar. So you just lost me at the door.
I know, and
Versus,
I love that though, but that's the way most business owners think. They think
Mhm.
if I make it, they will come. And the only place I have ever seen that work is in that movie with Kevin. That movie
That-
about the baseball field. If I make this baseball, they'll come. That's the only. It was a movie.
that's the only place it works. You better not waste your money. You better do your homework. And not only that, even going to the movie, there was already an innate need that he was fulfilling.
Yeah,
That's why they came.
that's why they came.
In a sense, he had already done his homework,
He already
and
did it.
he operated from a perspective of what he already knew people wanted, and
Absolutely.
and he fulfilled it. That's all.
Field of Dreams. Thank you.
Build the dreams.
That's the only place I've seen that if I build it, they will come work.
Oh, that's the
I have
only
never
place.
seen it work anywhere else.
Don't waste your money or your time. Do your homework
Do your
and
homework.
get the help you need. And that's my story, and I'm sticking with it.
Hey, and I'll go ahead and co-sign that right behind you because I know that works, right? I know that works. Like you have to do your work. Nobody's out here funding dreams that haven't been proven to work. Nobody's out here throwing money out the window because you had a dream that you owned whatever. Nobody's out here doing that. Yes, there is seed money out here in the form of grants. Yes, there's even salary money out here in the form of grants. There is business money out here in the form of grants. But in all and everything, you must prove that your concept works.
Yes. And that takes research, it takes time, it takes development. You can't just put it out there. And unfortunately, people are fantasizing when it comes to their business. It's a fantasy. But this business is all about a reality.
Baby, it's as real as you can get. It's tax season. If that don't make you think it's real, it's as real as it can
Oh,
get. It is real as it can get. And this is very, very serious. I thank you for
oh,
coming and spending your Sunday evening with
oh
me.
my goodness. I just finished my coaching class in the Rich Coaches Academy. We're coaching the next level of coaches to get out there and service people just like I do. And I just said, oh, I got to get off because I have a very important meeting I need to be at. I got to be on Linda's show and the business plug show. I got to get out there. So I am so delighted that you invited me. And anything that I could do to be of service, I would be delighted to do it. People could reach out to me on my website. Uh, my coaching website, I have several things that I do. I have a personal track and I have a professional track. On a personal note, just reach out to drlaverneadams.com, and I have some programs there to help you build yourself on a professional level. On the professional side, I have the Total Life Consultancy. I help corporations and organizations and government to level up their businesses and their goals, organizational goals. And then I have the Rich Coaches Academy if you want to be a real coach.
I know. Start a business other than just your own.
Exactly. A credentialed coach with the International Coaching Federation. It's an accredited institution. And I'm just absolutely thrilled to service people in a way that they feel would benefit them to help them move forward in their business.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It has been wonderful because, again, people don't know, especially, and I pray that people watch this in the replay if they're not watching it live now.
Mhm.
And if they have aspirations of being a good leader and learning how to build sustainability plans, because it's not about just starting a business. Anybody can start. And here in Chattanooga, where I am, $30, you can start a business. You pay 15 to the county, 15 to the city, and there you go.
Wow.
$30 to
It's going
start
to
a
take a
business.
whole lot more than that.
So anybody can get a license, right? And so, but the thing about it is, how do you become a real business?
Mhm.
Like the real business, learning what is needed in order to be a real business, right? Hey, Mike just got in here late. Mike, watch the replay and let us know how you feel about it. But yeah, but you need to understand that as a business leader, you need a business coach, an
Yes.
executive business coach, because that's a whole new level.
It's a whole new level you're going to.
And
Now, I would like to say that there are multiple ways to get what I provide. And, because I can't help everybody, but there are resources out there that you want to avail yourself to. And I know that some people may not be able to afford my rates, just like you. I'm not for everybody, but the message that I want to send is preparation.
mm,
It's critical.
it's critical, and it's not free.
And it's not free. So that preparation is connected to investment, investing in yourself, no matter what it is. Invest in yourself. If I could
Absolutely.
leave that message.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Because I was going to ask you for one tip that you could give us that we can take home to this evening that's going to serve us in order to do what we do in our genius. Like we all have these great business ideas or career ideas. We have places we want to be in places of leadership. If you are in corporate America or on a job and you want to be an executive leader,
Hmm.
then you need this coaching. Like,
Right. Now, here's the thing I want to clarify: investing in yourself is very different than pampering yourself.
I know.
I'm not talking about nails and hair, massages. I'm talking about investing in your professional acumen
Absolutely. Absolutely.
to help you function and operate at the top of your game so you can move into that $1 million mindset that you can actually make some money.
I heard it. I love it. I love it. Because self-care is good. So I'm never going to tell you
Nothing
self-care
wrong
is
with
not
it.
wealth care. Self-care is wealth care. However, when it comes to you academically, when it comes to you as far as strategically,
Mm-hmm.
then there's a whole additional investment that you need to make into yourself.
Absolutely. And I need to make that clarification because people, some people think that that is investment. And so the question to ask always is, what is the return on my fingernails and hair? That's those things are disposable items. You don't invest in disposable items. You invest in things that can bring you a return.
I
And
love it.
clothes do not bring you a return
I love it. I love it.
unless you're an actress that you have to be on a show in those particular clothes. But you get my point. We need to move out of this pampering, I got to do this for myself, to I got to do this for my future.
Mm, mm,
What am I doing to create the best future for myself? And
long
that's
time.
what this is all about. So I'm
Long time.
delighted to be able to help people and to discuss that in any kind of way that I can. And this has been a delightful conversation.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we do appreciate it. I'm going to close this out if you'll hold on. My name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the business plug. I just plugged you in to Dr. LaVerne. So if you are in leadership, if you are a business owner, if you are in a career where you want to become a supervisor or a leader, then you should be reaching out to her already. You should already be on her website, clicking or calling or doing all those things that I have in the description in order to contact her. You are going to be blessed by what you get from her. We
Mm.
will see you next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, here on the Business Plugs Mixer. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next Sunday.